So carrying on, going back to cinema. And now we're going to the film that I would look at this week, and I would say this is the film that you would actually want to be, if you wanted to see something quality, this is the film that you would be going to the cinema to see this week, because you would think we've got Ridley Scott, we've got some sort of pedigree behind this. This should be good. So this is either going to be the highlight or is going to be the letdown of this episode. Sharon, will you tell us a little bit about the last duel? No pressure.
Right. The Last Duel is based on true events, apparently, and it is set in the 1380s. So we're in a Europe which is still during the Hundred Years' War. So Britain and France, or the different French principalities, are battling it out more or less constantly. And so there's war is a way of life, and it's set in France. And we meet our three main characters. And the story is actually divided into three parts. I'll describe them as the husband, the rapist, and the wife.
Yeah.
So the first part is the husband, which is played by Matt Damon, and he's called Jacques Le Carouge. And he is a fighter. He is a warrior by profession and by training and by mindset. And so basically war is his business. So he's a hard man. And he has had this arranged marriage, effectively, to Jodie Comer's character, the wife, and he married her for her dowry, for the property she brought to the marriage, and to just improve his prospects. And she's much younger than him. She's about 20 years younger than he is, and she's sort of beautiful, and he's like this weathered older man. And then
I'm actually quite happy that they addressed that they've addressed the fact that there is supposed to be an age difference between Matt Damon and Jodie. It's not just supposed to be like, oh look, he's so handsome that he obviously, yeah. But anyway, never mind.
Noticeable that he is an older man looking for a younger wife to provide him with an heir and to provide him with money and funds and land. And his great rival is someone who started off being his friend, this Jacques, I've forgotten his name.
Adam
Driver's character.
Adam Driver.
Yeah, his character's called Jacques, but I forget the character's name. He is his great rival. They fought together, but he has a knack of being charming, and so he has got in with the princeling who played by Ben Affleck, who's like the son of the king, and who's a bit of a wastrel. He's a womanizer. He's a drunkard, but he's sort of got in with that crowd, and so he's won favour by being awarded lands that he hadn't necessarily earned, and titles that maybe weren't necessarily his, and he has become a little bit entitled. So there's been this rift between Matt Damon's character and Adam Driver's character, and then in the middle of this is this beautiful young wife. And one day Adam Driver's character goes to the house when Matt Damon's away and when the servants are away, and he rapes her. That's no secret, that's no spoiler. And then the story unfolds as you see the same events from three different perspectives. You see it from the husband's point of view, the events that led up to this event, and then what happened afterwards. You see it from Adam Driver's point of view, as in like how he interpreted different signals and different looks and different exchanges, as how he interpreted it in one way. And then the final chapter is called The Truth, which is basically Jodie Comer's account, saying that this is the story, this is her marriage, this is her relationship with both of these men, and these are the consequences of what happened. And the last duel is basically because his honour was outraged by the fact that his wife was assaulted, because she effectively is his property, and you can't rape a woman, and the offence is against her. The offence is against her husband, because she belongs to her husband. So Matt Damon says, I seek vengeance or justice for this crime against me. I'm going to challenge this man to a duel. And the film then progresses about the duel.
Okay.
Shawnee.
All right, okay. By the way, earlier you said the way you looked at it is pretty much like, was it the husband, the rapist, and the wife?
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been probably gotten more bums and seats as a title, but but I can see that there's problems with it. I mean, I think it's definitely a title that makes you sit up and take notice. So, but anyway, Shaun, what do you think of this?
Okay, yeah. My thoughts on this, I would say, it was. I mean, the thing I noticed, I thought. The first part, I mean, Matt Damon's story is the first part. And I mean, he played that fairly well. I think he's been fairly consistent lately, Matt Damon, to be fair to him.
Yeah.
But all his scenes, it was always snowy or foggy or grimy and horrible and not very nice. And And it always just, and I thought there must be some time during the thing when some of the weather's fairly pleasant.
I thought I took that. Sorry, just my interpretation on that was I took that because he's a hard character.
Yeah.
And the guy's been like a cold character. All his scenes are like a pale grey colours.
Yeah.
Whereas with Adam Driver's, where he's like this charming man, a lot of he's got more colour in his scenes and there's more life in his scenes. So I thought it was just like to distinguish the two characters. I think it probably was.
I was concur with that. I was just about to say that's probably. No, that's all right. That's fine. That's fine. You told it for me. You told it much more eloquently than I could have, Sharon. So I'm pleased you did. But yes, so what can I say here? I mean, I did like Adam Driver I thought his acting was pretty good. Matt Damon was solid. Who's the actress? Jodie Comer.
Jodie Comer.
I didn't quite have her, especially in her bit. I don't think she quite cut the mustard myself, and I don't mean that in a horrible sort of way. And it was difficult with this one. With me, it was difficult to say if I liked it or not. I found it a little bit too long. It had really, really good moments, but there were times when I was like a little bit skeptical of things, you know. So some things didn't quite match up, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Sharon, what did you think? How many stars?
I liked it. I thought it was gripping. I went to see it with a friend and we discussed it afterwards. I thought it was pivoting the period, but I thought it was quite modern as well in some of its aspects, where it looked at sexual violence against women. So I really rated it. I really liked it, and I didn't notice the passing of time. Whereas Bond, I found almost interminable in places. I was thinking, oh, get on with it. I didn't actually notice how long it was. I was in the story the whole time. So I would definitely give it a 4. I thought it was a quality bit of filmmaking. I enjoyed it, and I thought, it had something to say. So I rated it. I thought, so for me, it was a 4.
Sure.
Yeah. For me, it's a 3. I'm going to give it a 3 because I had a couple of issues with it. But yeah, it's a good, solid film. I mean, I wasn't like disappointed with it or anything like that, but it didn't have the wow factor for me.
All right, cool. But I'll tell you one thing. This is a film that I actually want to see because I was quite happy when I heard about the structure of the film. I was like, "Ooh, that's different."
I think it's called the Rashomon effect, where
where you show the same effect. You show the same effect from a whole bunch of different points.
Stories, yeah.
But I think the way that they've done it, I think like what Sharon was saying, I think it's actually quite topical. Like, you know, showing it from a man's point of view and showing it from a woman's point of view. I think that's quite topical.
Yeah, and how one signal might be interpreted like a glance. For the woman, it's just that I'm just looking at you. But to man, it's like she's clearly flirting with me.
Yeah.
You know, though that sort of thing, I thought they did that very well. To my eyes, I thought they did that very well.
Yeah, well, this makes me more interested in the film because the trailers and everything like that make it look like it's just like, you know, let's try and do Gladiator again or Kingdom of Heaven again and fight. And I'm like, but I think that it seems to have more of a brain, which I'm quite happy about. I'm quite happy about that. And I think we need to go see this film because there's been a lot of stuff online talking about how it hasn't been doing that well, and that's because every cinema is showing Bond 15 times a day, and the last Duel once.
It was mind you, it is an 18 certificate, isn't it?
It's an 18. That's going to limit it as well.
That probably got something to do with it.
And it does stay on there with big head, and you know this has got strong violence, strong scenes of sexual violence. So, to me, I didn't think the sexual violence. I thought it was very well done. Yeah, normally one of my triggers is like I don't want to watch you be titillated by sort of this assault. Yeah. And I think they filmed it sensitively enough that you didn't feel like it was in any way
exploitative. Yeah. That's it. So, I must say I'll agree with Sharon on that one. Yeah, it was. Because
I'm just like no, because often the way they film it, even the lighting and I'm just like thinking, no, you're doing this. It's supposed to be this violent assault, and you're making it look attractive.
Yeah.
Ugly scene, you can't make it attractive.
Yeah,
when you see it from the different points of view, that they didn't make it anything other than what it was.
What did you think about Batfleck's performance?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I mean, I don't understand why he suddenly was all sweary. I mean, there's hardly any swearing in the film, and suddenly his one scene is like, I thought, why are you suddenly turned into this foul-mouthed fiend? But I think maybe that was his character, that he was completely outside of the rules that applied to the society, because the way he behaved was just like a vile. But I thought he did that character well.
Okay, cool. And now we'll move on. So far, it's the TV show. It's the thing we've watched of the week, the film of the week, or whatever you want to say. Okay, now we go into Only Murders in the Building. So, Only Murders in the Building. This is a murder mystery, as you might.